And we're live. Hi everyone, this is Amateur Gamer, and I'll be returning to Civ 5 Vox Populi, and this will be the first of what I expect to be a very, very long series. So, this is gonna start showcasing the start of a very ambitious project I have in mind. Oh wow. You'll see if you can see anything that's different. So, in terms of mod, the only thing I added is my tweaks mod. Well, and really advanced setup, but the tweaks mod is, the name is a bit misleading because of the fact that it's more than just tweaks. It's a pretty big overhaul. It's meant to change all of the early game. Well, okay. So my plan is to make changes for all the eras, add new eras. This is the first step in which I've basically changed ancient era. There's still things that I need to do. So, what are changes? Terrain. So grassland and plains now only give 1 food. Lakes are only 2 food, no production. At least they shouldn't have. Wheat gives 1 food. So resources have all been changed. Now they give significantly less yields. Buildings now give significantly less yields. Like even monument, 1 culture. Shrine, 1 faith. And I've also changed in terms of resource monopolies, they're less. Happiness is the same. I think I changed that, but never changed the text. Yeah, this should be +1 culture. Yep, +2 culture will be too strong. Brazil's already pretty strong. And I've also, so let's see. Buildings, pantheons. Pantheons, another big one, where I still need to work on the Celtic pantheons, but for normal pantheons, you get significantly less yields. Terrain, resource, building, pantheon. Even policies have been changed. And none of these are like carved into stone. They are subjected to change after I try them, and if there happens to be people who give other players who give feedback, I will also take those into account. But I think given how early on this project is, most of it will probably be my own feedback. And improvements also got changed, like great people improvement. Manufacturers give +2 production. Academy give +1 science. So it's like, it's very minuscule, but there's a reason for that. And then Pathfinders have a pretty strong ability now. You'll see in a moment. I'm still figuring things out. And also workers, military, basically all units you could create. Caravans, military units, civilian units, workboats, all of them require population. So they function like settlers. They stop growth, and then once they're done, they use up population. The only difference is that you can't use gold to buy settlers, but you could use gold to buy units, and that will instantly decrease your population. And I believe that you can't get to 0 population. I'm actually not sure. I hope that's the case. I'd be very surprised. So what happens is early on, cities will be pretty small because you'll be building up units. Because I've also made, or at least I intend to make, barbarians have a bigger presence, be more dangerous. but we'll get to that later on. Also, yields from meeting city-states decreased and a lot less influence. Gain from completing city-state quests. So my general plan is to make each era offer something different. At least that's the plan. Whether or not that's gonna work out, we'll find out. And then specialists also provide less yields. So I mean, I won't be playing very long. So right now I'll be picking civilizations that have an ancient era unique building or unique improvement and see how it feels and then go from there. Do I want to settle in place? Okay, that's a coast. Okay, you will start with, yeah, this feels like epic epic speed. Oh yeah, I also nerfed the palace. I believe you get more science in the past. Now you get less science. I haven't changed the cost of technology and policies yet. I want to get a feel first before I go there, so I'm gonna start with monument. Okay. So production costs, food costs, science costs, and culture costs. None of those have been touched yet. I want to get a feel of it. I don't quite know where I want to go for those because sometimes technology feels like it's way too fast. So honestly, I wouldn't mind. I should put it. I wouldn't mind if technology takes a bit longer to research policies. I think I will be decreasing the policy cost, but I also have plans of adding an extra policy for each policy tree. So yeah, the new ability for the Pathfinder. It's forage. You gain food in the nearest own city. Each tile gives you like, at least each tile should only give you. Wait, what? Love how I can't select it. We reveal tiles, gain food. Are the values off? That feels very weird. So this actually changes the game a lot. Like, well, we'll see how the barbarians work out. So you go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 7. Well, wait, 1, 2. I don't know how it works. Then you get 5. What? So there should be more barbarians. I've also, oh yeah, buff barbarians. I guess I should have mentioned that. So your cities will grow very quickly early on. I haven't changed other Pathfinder promotions. So as you can see, normally you get what, 8 food, now you only get 2. Already at 3 pop. And since you get less yields, it's yeah, I don't have a lot of production. But right now, +1 production matters a lot. I still don't know if my changes for policies. I'll talk about policies once I get there. But as you can see, hills now only provide 1 production. Forests are nice because it's like 1 food and 1 production. And jungles. Oh man. I really dislike the old jungle. Like the old jungle, it's 3 fruit, which is like, you might think it's okay, but I feel it's awful. Because if you're surrounded by jungles, which starts have a good chance, then you will actually, how should I put it? If you start with jungles, you'll be surrounded with it and you only have food. And with no production, it's really hard to move forward. But yeah, even the +2 food from that is. So now brutes are not 9 combat strengths. I mean, I still have a bonus, but still, they are more dangerous. There should be more of them in numbers. I will get survivalism. In preparation for getting targeted by a lot of barbarians. Plus. So flanking only works if I have another unit. So barbarians should more likely. Am I all alone? Oh yeah, so floodplains now have 2 food. And your city will starve? Like one way around it. I have to get shrine. So early on losing population. I mean, happiness is not a problem early on. But oh, sheep is. Yeah, I was like, wait, doesn't sheep give yields? It's like, yes, it does. We will go for. Actually, now granary becomes so much more important because the food transfer over. It helps you sustain larger population. At least that's the plan. We'll have you heal up. Mecca will starve a bit. Also feels like the numbers don't quite match. I don't know, it feels a little odd. Horses. So the reason why I lowered all of these yields is due to the fact that for like current, like in vanilla VP, late game buildings, in order to be beneficial, have crazy amounts of modifiers and yields. To the point where I feel it's too much. So stable. AI's not starve. Like, do they not starve? Survivalism. Oh yeah, the Pathfinder no longer has the penalty against barbarians, but it's probably still gonna die. Well, you're probably not going to live. Am I on top? Okay, I'm on top of horses. I didn't know that. Yeah, I was like, how come I could build that? Let's get another warrior. You're not gonna survive that. Come on. How? Hero Pathfinders. Survivalism was the. Oh, come on. Really? Felt like I should have had enough. So right now, things like revealing resources is very critical because you need that extra bit of resource. There should be more barbarians. Now the thing is, now I have to revisit my old videos to know the timing. Alright, let's go tradition. I'll tradition with you. Tradition stayed mostly the same. The main differences are that each of these buildings provide less. Before it was +3, now it's just +2. And some of the other bonuses like +1 science to council and herbalist was removed. And from baths, because if you don't have baths, you're kind of at a disadvantage. Really? You prioritize? Sometimes I really don't get how it works. Stars trade route. Yeah, about that. Actually, wonders are probably a very long time now. Let's get granary. I think I am alone. Which is not great because I can't compare many things. Oh yeah, not only are brutes stronger, hand axes and barbarian archers are also noticeably stronger. So it's possible that certain... I'm actually curious if they could actually take city states. I have made it so that barbarians are more likely... Probably a Brazil. that's usually like the only way. Wrapping. We'll go for trade. Actually, everything will be delayed. Tradition does feel stronger in that you do have a larger population. From. Oh yeah, did you see it? It actually attacked my warrior. So if I... Actually no, I don't want to. Alright, I was at 7 pop. I finished the warriors, so... Okay, see, both are important now because you might not have enough production. Wait, come back. I came out to greet you and that's how you treat me? Oh. Now, if the barbarians can capture city-states, maybe I overtune them? Maybe. Okay, that's the first Pantheon. So let's get an archer. So that's the thing, right? Like with more barbarians, you're gonna need a military. Tradition will be nerfed a bit, slightly. Now come back here. I promise both of my warriors won't be focused too much on you. Unless you run away, then. The Spear of the Desert. Oh man, is this gonna be like I can't catch up to it? Stone build Stonehenge. Turn 51. Oh, come on. Wait, turn 51. Is that good, bad? Yeah, early on food is pretty vital. Don't you hunt down that thing I do, or it becomes too powerful. Alright, what do we want? I don't know if I have stone or not. The commerce, Earth Mother. Yeah, everything got. Yeah, I wanted the yield to drop drastically so that as I go through the ages, because not only. So, currently, we have ancient era, classical era, medieval, Renaissance. I will include enlightenment. I just got permission to mod it to my own taste and add it here. So enlightenment, ancient, classical, medieval, Renaissance, enlightenment, industrial, and then I also created a machine era, and then modern. Machine, modern. I need to revisit this. I haven't done anything for those. Yeah. So industrial, machine, modern, digital, and then there'll be more eras after that. So I want to make sure that later buildings won't just be like a bloating of yields. Yeah, most of these are not very good. I mean, I could get this. Oh, I don't have marshes. Oh yeah, even Oasis got a huge nerf. It used to be 3 food and 2 gold. Now it's 1 food and 1 gold. Walls, camps. I can't use that. But let's get that. Anything unfounded. Well, wait a bit. I'm not gonna attack across that. Do a bit of farming. Like, actually let the city grow a bit. Yeah, farms are. If you want to grow your cities, farms are a must. Yeah. So yeah, they're a bit stronger, but they're not like crazy strong. You're like, what am I supposed to do with them? Thankfully. Well, I didn't see the barbarian swarms I was expecting. Okay, that's enough for now. You can start building the unique building. I mean, well, isn't that useful? Oh, right, you're not next to that. Wait, no, you are. No, you aren't. Right, right. I was like, why can't I build Petra? Oh, right, I'm not next to Petra. It's like, rip. Go into the city. Keep it well defended. I will need more games, though. Like, a single game isn't enough to tell me whether we're doing well or we have more work to do. So getting more food, being able to grow and build your military, get your workers, because workers will cost population as well. Losing the Pathfinder sucks. Pyramid, turn 66. Things to definitely look at. I think I also want to buff. And heal up. Reinforcements kind of coming. Interesting. I wonder if they are losing. Like before I made this version, I had one that had even more barbarians, and I was swamped by them. There were so many of them, it was crazy. Wait, what? Why is there a delay? So weird. My game lagging or something? The age ends. Fields. Okay, we got the sheep. Yeah, getting like bonus resources is really good. Like 1 food, 1 copper. Sorry, 1 food, 1 food, 1 production, 1 gold. I don't know why I said copper. It was weird. I love how you could still see like there was a barbarian encampment there. You have, oh, you do have the ability to move quickly. Most advanced. I mean, it makes sense because I'm isolated. And Azar still gives science, if I recall correctly. But only 1. I think default was 2. I'm gonna grow some more. Perfect. I'm gonna wait until I get 7 pops before I work on a settler. Oh yeah, you'll probably notice, yeah, 6, 17, 3 influence. It's not a lot. We start on the council. Fill you up. Then we'll get more production, which is a huge help. But yeah, food plays a huge factor now. And maybe barbarians aren't as strong as I thought I made them. But like I said, I definitely need more games before I can say for certain that's the case. Because for now, it's too early to declare that. Wait. Not fresh water? Are lakes no longer fresh water? I'm so confused. Yeah, there is definitely something weird about the game. Statue of Zeus. But the AI seems to be doing fine. Yeah, okay, that's fresh water. Did that make it harder for the human player? Or maybe the AI's bonuses are a bit much. A bit more production would be nice. Does it feel slower? Now curious how religion will work. I mean, it's possible I made it harder for human players, which honestly I wouldn't mind. That's a bit of an added bonus right now. Because I do want to make changes to difficulty, but I want to first lay down like the groundworks before I start tweaking that and see what. Because none of this is like final. Even like city states are a small population as a whole. Where would I? That's a very. What do I want to prioritize? Structure would be pretty nice for the lapis. There's a barbarian encampment there. I feel like that would be a decent location. Yo, wait. I will have to give you an escort. Yeah, archers don't cut it. I do want. I am thinking of buffing archers because I think the changes I made to this city HP recovery rate should make early archer rushes, unless you're playing on slower speed. On slower speed, there's not much I can do to fix that. Yeah, wheat will be your most favorite asset. Okay. Wait. So you have met. Okay, a couple of others. Policy, yeah. Slightly more behind in tech. Is he leading? Can't tell. And then, oh man. It's like, damn it. Traditions ally cities are gonna suck. I removed the +1 production to all cities, so you will most definitely feel it. Did I not remove that? Ah, oh, shoot. Wait. Wait, what? Wait, why is this? Oh no, yeah, it's my pet Theo. I'm like, shoot. Okay, well, I don't know what's wrong with Wells. Sticky notes. Let's see. Wells. Yeah, Wells is supposed to be one. I thought I checked it. So weird. That's right. Oh, right. I only looked at that. I didn't see if it still scales. Okay. Yeah, that's. I overlooked that. Fine. I'm curious when the first. Normally on King is like turn 100 or so. I wouldn't be surprised if everything got delayed. Yeah, barbarian archers are 5 combat strength and 7 range combat strength. They are pretty strong. Oh, they're stronger than your standard ones. They're still not quite built. I haven't changed any of the wonders that might be coming. Okay, so they're like from up there. Add text. I mean, I'm isolated, so that actually feels it's fine. Yeah, I do want to clear that before it becomes a problem. Cover this. See, he's treating it as fresh water. I'm really confused. Might be able to finish it up. Perfect. More gold for me. Wait, I thought I locked. I don't know. But yeah, the game has changed drastically. Stable Nation, Askia. Wait, how many cities do they have? 3 cities, 3 cities. Doesn't seem to have affected them too much, but their population, like 15, 13. Yeah, in terms of population, you'll notice that they will stay low, especially warmongers, because they have to keep. Actually, I did give authority. Oh, right, I forgot I was supposed to talk about policy trees. Then I just went through it. Okay, so tradition, uh, those buildings give 2 instead of 3 of each. And then also, like, before it was plus 20%, 25%, now it's plus 10% great person rate. Here it was plus 5 food before, now it's just plus 3. Progress is kind of like my trick one, so less science for population and culture. And all of these will be +1 production, +1 gold, +1 science. So you do need more cities to really benefit from this. With the oh yeah, also plus 10% production towards buildings instead of 15, and less culture you'll get from it. So science and culture should be less, but it's weird. It doesn't feel that much slower. Actually, it might be slower. It's turn 100. And then for authority, it's like most of it's just less yields. You also don't get a seller for free, but killing military units generates food. So once you get dominance, imperium, and the opener, you'll get Culture and science both like half of the units combat strength, and you'll get 25% of the combat strength in terms of food. But the idea is that as you you'll be able to replenish units easier because you'll have food from all the kills, and your city will grow larger. That's only one happy. That's one culture. 7 citizens. I think it's easier to get that unless you're building a ton of 4. Oh yeah, I'm way behind. Do AIs get damage boost? I'm starting to think they do. Speed that up. Actually, investing becomes, yeah, Babylon would actually be pretty good. Completing more of it ain't too shabby. Desire silk. Wait, I can. Oh, I can't. Yeah, building wonders. See, I told you there's a Brazil. 13. I may have inadvertently made a king harder. Was that behind in tech before? See, that's the thing, right? I'm only looking at one era, and it's really hard to judge. I mean, maybe I'll try Prince, because the wait, remember, difficulty usually only. I mean, like for players, it's usually only happiness. Otherwise, difficulty usually just changes what the AI gets. Hmm. 5. 4 cities. They are expanding like crazy. Yeah, I forgot to change that. Now I feel bad. Do I even need the happiness? Or do I want to improve these? Extra production on those horses would be pretty nice. So you can still get wonders. And we'll get a well. But there's one more civ that I know nothing about. Addition, progress. I mean, if the AI are somewhat in the same place, I have no issues. I will actually build a Pathfinder. Explore more. I need more pop for that. Wait, what? Wait. The warrior stays alert because there's a camp here, but I can't see anyone there. Okay, I will actually get a Pathfinder. So, it should provide food to Medina. Theory. Rega 6, 21. Yeah, I also decreased the yields. From the state quests. Otherwise, it'd be a bit much. Okay, you got that. Oh yeah, also ancient era buildings no longer cost any maintenance. So there's no reason you don't build them because they all benefit you some way or form. How they? Do they have to embark? I may have to go fishing first. Yeah, okay, I will have to embark. Otherwise, they would travel on the land. Ah, yeah, it does go here. Okay. Yeah, I thought barbarians would be more dangerous, but damn it, I just built that you. Oh, they captured that. Wait, did he? So confused now. Did he attack the city? Oh shoot! I just realized attacking cities won't be very useful for the barbarians because they repair so much. Unless you get overwhelmed. Okay, that is something else I need. Barbarians attacking cities fall due to higher city healing rates. Yeah, that's something you don't have to worry about in vanilla. Definitely have to worry about here. Let's go for a settler. Oh, you attack my pathfinder. Yes. Okay. I mean, Brazil is supposed to be leading. Because they have their Songhai doing. So Songhai's Tabia no longer has the boost to the production. I didn't change all the text. Too much work. We're under attack. Another one? Will you be fine? It didn't attack the city. Already on sugar. Wow. I can't tell if it's like have a slow start or I'm gonna try. I mean, tech I could catch up. Actually, I'm not sure. Oh right, no, it is skewed because yeah, it's only ancient era. Overall, the pacing here doesn't feel that bad. Wait, unit maintenance. Really? One, two. Or really? I haven't built any roads. Man, gold does. Oh yeah, how's the gold looking? Very low. Huh. Yeah, no, the results are gonna be skewed from now, but yeah, religion is being found very late because you have it's getting pushed back a lot. $800. $600. First rate profit rate cost lower to maybe 600. So that's the thing. Like if you're let's look at on average, let's say you get your faith from your shrine, so +1. And then let's say on average you get another +1 for every city. Let's say 3 cities. So you get 2 per city, so that's 6. 6 faith, 100 turns after your pantheon. I mean, that's assuming you get 6 faith immediately. Yeah, even 600 seems a lot. The turn seems like a lot for sure. So after you find, normally it's what? Let's say 110. Fine, so 70 turns. 400? Wow, that's. I mean, I did have everything. Well, more than half. I think 400 faith. Yeah, that's very interesting. Hmm. Progress might get faster. I mean, the thing about tradition is you do have. Yeah, that's the thing I was debating. Do I want to give culture a bit more? I mean, give tradition a bit more culture. Because progress does get ahead very quickly. It doesn't scale as quickly, but then it has like the scaling culture isn't very high, but once you start building buildings and you get the policy that gives you culture for completed building, it does start adding up. Yeah, it definitely feels like a very different game. From 132. And I do want to try out Prince because I want to see how things are different from different difficulties. So I will probably have to try a different. Yeah. Currently, what happens is the sooner you get to classical era, the better because I haven't changed any of these. But like a library is +2 science. Library +2 science. +1 culture. I have plans for these. I just haven't implemented it yet because I want to like work on ancient era. So far, yeah, barbarians didn't feel very overwhelming. But yeah, these bonus resources are so important now because otherwise, a 1 food tile is. And honestly, it didn't feel like the extra food for your capital was stupidly strong, because you need that food for dealing with barbarians, for getting a worker, settlers, right? All of those cost population. I mean, yes, maybe you could delay. Well, you can't. Yeah, I need another game to look at barbarians. I need more like data points where I can say, okay, barbarians need more work or barbarians are doing well. Let's see. What other civs? Babylon. Okay, Babylon is interesting because Walls of Babylon is all the way in construction. Oh, I forgot to add that to it. That you get +1 to Academy. Text. Okay, I'll also increase cost. Should have. And authority gets good from kills. I'm looking at the notes. Needs slight culture boost. These are just notes to look at in the future. Probably just one +1 culture palace on openers. Probably pretty good. Wait, do I want to do that? So this brings up another interesting topic about whether or not people should finish their finish the policy tree or be able to like pick certain policy. Because one thing is, if you make the opener very strong, then someone might go for the opener, not go for rest of policy, and still be far ahead. Like for instance, if I went for traditional opener, right, I get more population, take advantage of that, and then I go progress, get a massive science boost. I wonder. Because didn't Vanilla Civ, let me see, Civ 5 policy, didn't Vanilla Civ also make it possible so if you pick one policy you can't get other ones? I vaguely recall. I think it was like piety and rationalism. Yeah, cannot be active at the same time as rationalism. So that is possible. Question is, do I want to do it? It's an interesting topic. You do get a lot of science. Like if you explore again, man, you'll probably have like 60 science. The base of those? Technology is one of those things that don't 60. Okay. So it's a free tier 1. Actually, that's what it already is. I guess that's fine. They'll get more as they grow more. I mean, it's only the first time you reach it, so. I mean, if people find crazy builds, oh, we'll see. If I find out about it and I don't like it, I'll change it. Otherwise, yeah, honestly, the pacing feels slower. You do have a bunch of things you have to do, and farms become more important because if you want to support. So if we go tradition, you definitely want a lot more food. 5 food. 5 food is. Are you working all of those? Wow. Yeah, but production is a bit on the light side. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about the well. Oh man. Oh yeah. Actually make that. Yeah, well still scales with population, barbarians, attack city. I do like the faster healing rate for cities because otherwise they take forever to heal up. And yeah, during wars, it means that after, like for standard, after your peace treaty ends, the city might still be very much weakened and you don't have enough time to really recover. So overall, this felt. Wait, did I actually increase? Game era. Didn't I change it? Oh man, there are so many things. Uh, should have changed. I don't know why. Shoot. Something else I forgot. I mean, it's not as critical, but I also want like wonders to. Okay, so wonder scaling costs will uh check check why they didn't increase. I I do want like fewer wonder is hoarding by 1 civ, so making it very expensive. But yeah, overall it didn't feel that bad because production authority gets a lot of production. Um, progress they will eventually get a boost. Go add up. They'll also be able to improve things faster, so that will make a difference. And tradition has more pop. Yeah, I would say this first one feels not bad. It's very noticeable, fewer yields and stuff. I think that's fine. Look at these city states. Still sugar, Brazil wood. Oh wow, if they get that, that's a lot of culture. I mean that's one of their strengths. So I have no issues with that. Pretty sure that's a text thing. I'm pretty sure in terms of the coding it's actually. Oh yeah, Brazil wood. Brazil wood text to culture from Monopoly. It's okay, once I read that I will know. But yeah, that felt okay. Future ones I'll probably have less, well, hopefully less notes. But yeah, Arabia Royal Library is classical era, so not gonna worry about that. Yeah, I haven't seen the New America actually. Dependence Hall unlocks access to Hoover Dam, West Point. Okay. Babylon. Forgot to add text. But yeah, because academies only give +1 science. So I want science to be relatively rare until you. Yeah, for some of these it might be more noticeable once you get to the later eras, like medieval and Renaissance. But I'm hoping like Enlightenment era is when science. So I want yields to play the roles like ancient era, food, and faith. And then classical, food, faith, production. Medieval, same as classical. That's why I'm also pushing diplomatic units back further. Carthage, Brazil. I guess next time I'll be doing Babylon, progress, likely progress. I will want the walls of Babylon, and I will also want writing. Writing first, probably. Like a tech to it faster. So Babylon, and then I mean Ethiopia is very straightforward. One culture, one faith. It's still very powerful. Wonder if they could find a religion under 100. Well, we'll find out when we get there. I haven't changed the GUR. The GUR is its default. One food and one faith. Solid option. Morocco. And then we also have unique improvements. See, unique improvements are interesting because currently in vanilla VP, their issue is that you have to make them feel like they're more worthwhile than normal improvements. Because, for example, farms gets a lot of boosts, and at some point, it's actually better than some of the unique improvements. Yeah, it's a tricky thing. But anyways, that's it for this test. Next time I'll be doing progress Babylon, and then we'll see how that feels. I'm actually very curious about if progress feels too strong, if it needs some nerfing or not. Anyways, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a good one.